Now the palming, if you don't learn anything else, the palming is the key relaxation technique to help improve the eyesight naturally. And palming is done with the eyes closed, and you put the palm of your hands over the closed eyes so that the fingers cross over your forehead, and the eyes are just covered by the little palm. It's not fixed, it's not stiff, it's very gentle. And the base of the palm is on the cheekbone. But you've got space to breathe, so you're not covering up the nose, it's just over the eyes. Now I do the palming, which is occluding all light. So there's no stimulus for the mind or the eyes at all. So the mind can just rest, the eyes can just rest. I do this in bed before I get up in the morning. So I do it in bed with a pillow behind me. So I'm lying flat out, pillow behind me, and I have another pillow to support my elbows, right? So they're not just hanging. And then for the first few moments, I'll have the knees bent on the mattress. So the back, neck, and head are all in alignment. So the blood, the oxygen, the nutrients can get to the face, eyes, and back into the body. As the knees may become more achy or they've had enough, then you just bring the legs down onto the mattress so you're flat out. Okay? Now, the effect of relaxation is seeing blackness and seeing darkness. When I first started, the strain of the mind was so great that all I would see is bright red and yellow. Right? And then gently, as I started to relax, then I started to be aware of more black. You cannot force black. You cannot visualize, seeing black. What you would do is imagine that you've seen a lovely, you've had a lovely experience, or you're seeing a lovely scene, something that's pleasant to the mind. Okay, but I also do a meditation as well. Would you like me to do that?
Sure.
I can run through that. It's about sort of 7 or 8 minutes, but that can help people just to relax. So if anybody's listening, I'm going to be sitting on the chair. Seat bones are, I'm sitting on my seat bones rather than the fat of my behind, so the back, neck, and head are all in alignment. And I have what is called a palming stick in front of me, but you can use pillows or cushions, but making sure that the back, neck, and head are upright. You're not bringing your head downward slightly. It's upright, okay? So it's a dynamic relaxation. And then very gently I'm closing my eyes, making sure my palms are warm, because a healing component is in the palm where many of the nerve endings are located. All right? And because it's your hands, it's something that's familiar and secure. Okay? So very gently you have your arms spread out as if it was like an isosceles triangle. Don't bring the hands together, that's already your arms together, it's a strain. Really allow the arms to be stretched out. So it's like an equidistance between the nose, the elbows, and the elbows to the elbow to the other elbow. So equidistant. And very gently and slowly, with your eyes closed, be aware of a long out breath. And imagine it floating through the body and gently melting into the legs, feet, and floor. Awaken the feeling in your feet. And visualize a space between each little toe. And imagine the very gentle expansion of the balls of the feet, of the soles, and the heels. Breathe. Feel the sensation in your legs. Imagine the space, the fluidity in the ankles and calves. And allow the knees and the thighs to gently float in every direction in your imagination. Allow the sitting bones to be supported by the chair. And allow the hips and hip joints to gently merge into the space around them. Breathe. Be aware of the tummy. Can it simply relax and let go? Long out breath. Long in breath. Feel the sensation in your back, in the lower back, middle and upper back. And allow any tension to gently float away. Be aware of the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Can they merge into the space around them? And allow the chest to widen and extend. Breathe. Feel the sensation in your hands and arms. From the fingertips to the lovely warmth of your palms, the gentle softening of your wrists, of your forearms, the space in the crook of your elbows, and the space in the upper arms. Breathe. Be aware of the neck. Imagine the softening around the cervical vertebra at the back of the neck. The softening of the throat and along the jaw. And be aware of the lower lip, upper lip, and allow the tongue to rest on the lower palate, with the teeth just slightly apart. Be aware of the cheeks, of the lower eyelids, upper eyelids. Imagine them gently smiling. And allow the eye muscles to softly release and relax as they cradle and support the eyeballs, so that they too can become more comfy, more cozy, as they float back to the eye sockets, which are like flexible armchairs. Breathe. Be aware of the space between the eyebrows, the very gentle expansion of the forehead, and of the back of the head, just below the crown, to the visual cortex of the brain. Imagine the visual cortex expanding widthways through your walls, lengthways through the ceiling into the floor, and depthways welcoming the space behind you as you greet the world in front of you. Breathe. And simply enjoy the lovely warmth and darkness behind the closed eyelids. The way you learn to relax in palming is a fabulous way of reminding the mind to see in a more balanced, relaxed, peaceful, joyful manner. Because there's nothing for your eyes to do. It's simply allowing them to be and to see. Long out breath. Gently floating through the body and into the feet and floor. And before you open the eyes, just very gently bring the hands down. Allow the closed eyes to enjoy the difference in the light. And very gently, before you open them properly, just turn the head slowly, like a long, slow no, from shoulder to shoulder, being aware of the breath. As you're turning for a few moments, open your eyes, blink, close them, all the while turning. Again, be aware of the breath. Softly, slowly open your eyes, blink, close them. And now very gently float to the middle. Again, be aware of the breath. And now very softly and slowly open your eyes, blink, and this time welcome your world with grace, with gratitude, and kind, smiling eyes. And then I ask them how they feel. Right? But this, is just a nice meditation. It's keeping the mind in the present as much as possible, Lee. So if suddenly the mind is going somewhere else, is it possible just to bring it back to the present? Either with the in-breath, with the out-breath. And, not to worry if it goes, but just bring it back gently. And, if the mind and eyes are relaxed, the effect, the evidence is in darkness. But not to worry, like I was, seeing bright red and yellow, other people see different colors, just let it be. But the more they enjoy the palming, it's like a way of life. It's as if it's as important eventually as, brushing your teeth. So it's making it part of your life. So I always do this in the morning before I get up to prepare my day. And then it's a lovely thing to do at the end of day to prepare for sleep. But if you're on the computer a lot or it's part of your job, then do some little palming sessions. It could be just for a few moments. It could be a little micro palm, every so often, having a break from the screen. And the way to palm is the way to see. It's a meditation in seeing. Right, so that is the most important of all of them. Okay, I do sunning, but again, people could feel that's controversial. But again, it's really just helping people to enjoy light. It can be done with a lamp, can be done with the sun, but always with your eyes closed. And again, I'm just doing it for a few moments. Just 2 or 3 minutes is enough. And the morning light is the best. It's the more gentle of the lights. You don't do it at midday in the summer. It can be, again, a very nice thing to do sort of later in the afternoon, because eyes need light. This is the way the brain gets light. The eyes are just the portal to the brain to receive light. And a lot of people, of course, are not getting enough light, not getting out enough. And then having to take, a lot of vitamin C supplements, vitamin D, supplements.
Yeah.
Does that seem clear enough?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, so that is what. So those two techniques are very, very important. You can never overdo it. If your arms become achy, then just give it a rest, because otherwise the achiness will affect the strain. Will produce a strain. Otherwise, if you want to palm for longer, you can just use a little eye mask.
Yeah.
And although it's not quite the same, you haven't got the warmth of your fingers and the feel of your fingers, it still gives you the darkness. Right, that's very important. Now, there are 1 or 2 other sort of techniques which are very simple and which I can just tell you easy without people knowing about them, is 1 pencil check and a 2 pencil check. So here is choosing a brightly coloured pencil, not just your finger, which is just too familiar, a brightly coloured pencil, and have a background of a white background. So today what I've brought with me is a little white card, just to give you an idea of how I'm doing this, because if you do it just into any kind of background, the mind can get distracted and then not really to attend what you're seeing in front. Okay, so here I've got the pencil about, I don't know, 10 centimeters away from my nose. It's slightly below my nose to make it easier for the eyes to see rather than having to look up. It's looking slightly downwards. And then very gently holding the pencil, and here I'm holding a card just behind the pencil if you haven't got a white wall. And then very gently, can you receive this pencil at 10 centimeters? Are you aware of one pencil? Breathe, close your eyes, bring it a little bit nearer. Again, be aware of the breath, head, neck and shoulders all relaxing on top of the body. Gently open your eyes. Can you still receive one image of the pencil? And then some people will see a ghosting. Some people might see two. So then if you are, if they are seeing two pencils, just close your eyes and then just imagine, in fact, hold the pencil with both hands. You know there's only one pencil, because vision is very much about memory and imagination. But if you have to hold the card, then do so. Very gently, see if it's possible. Imagine you're seeing the one pencil in your mind's eye. Breathe. Gently open your eyes. Blink. See what occurs. And often they will see, even just for one little flash, one little pencil. Close your eyes. Bring it a little bit nearer, knowing there's one pencil. Again, be aware of the breath. Softly and slowly open your eyes. Can you simply receive the pencil? Imagine the pencil is looking at you. And then gently bring it a bit nearer, closing your eyes. Again, be aware of the breath. Gently open your eyes. Can you be aware of it? It's about 5 centimeters away from my nose. And it'll be blurry, and it's only being aware of the top, because the bottom already will be coming out as a triangle. So you just look at the top. If again you're seeing two, close your eyes. And this time just touch the tip of the pencil onto the tip of the nose. You know there's only one pencil. What is the mind doing? And again, just bring it out. Breathe. Gently open your eyes. And then it might occur. Right? But this can take time and patience, because often, the eyes aren't working together. So this is a very good thing for balance and convergence, and can be very helpful for the reading. Right? And then eventually can you be aware of it touching your nose, and then, for instance, just bring the pencil down, touch the nose with each forefinger from the left and the right hand. Even though it's blurry, can you be aware of both fingers and the nose, and then look away? Then the eyes are really converging. And the lens should be that flexible. With children, they can read things right up here. As we get older, everything becomes more rigid, and we have to bring the hand further and further out in order to read properly. But this is a wonderful way of getting the lens more flexible again. Okay? And then so that's the one pencil check. There's a two pencil check, again on a white background. Have them roughly equidistant from each other, so about 10 centimeters for the distant one, 10 centimeters to the middle one, and 10 centimeters to the nose. So one's at arm's length, one's at 10 centimeters. Then very gently be aware of the near pencil. And as you're receiving the near pencil, in the periphery, are you aware of two images of the distant pencil? Are the eyes working together? If there's only one image, then you can just move the pencil sort of left to right, maybe up and down, just to help the mind see that movement. And then suddenly you might see the two pencils in the periphery. Breathe and blink. Send your attention then onto the distant pencil. Have you got two images of the near pencil? Again, if not, just move it up and down and round about. Just see if that helps. Close your eyes. And then allow the distance to be more. So I've really now got the distant pencil right at arm's length, and I've got the near pencil near my nose. Breathe. Be aware of the near pencil in the periphery. Can you be aware of 2 pencils? Breathe and blink. Be aware of the distant pencil. Can you be aware of 2 pencils in the mental periphery in the front? This is very good for lens near, lens far away. A lot of people have a little difficulty in seeing it near too, if they can't read too well. So this is great for the presbyopia one.
Yeah, and what I'll do as well, Lizzie, is for those that are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I'll make sure I put these exercises on the YouTube channel as well if people want to see them, because these are things that would be better to actually watch to do as well.
Yes. And the other one is checking on the periphery. So again, just the pencil. And again, first of all, your head and eyes are just in front. Sorry. And then very gently, the eyes are just focusing on it for a little while, and then eventually, of course, the pencil's in the periphery as it comes into alignment of the shoulder. Can they still be aware of the pencil in this periphery? A lot of people can't. So again, waving it up and down to help the mind see this movement and the eyes to see this movement, and then suddenly it might appear. Very gently, head in the middle, but the eyes are just following until it focuses on the pencil. So this was going to the right shoulder, so I was holding it with the right hand. Then I'm switching hands, left hand, gently following it with my eyes, until eventually the pencil is in the periphery by my shoulders. So from my shoulders it's probably about 20, 30 centimeters away, 20 centimeters probably away. Can you be aware of it? If you're not, just wave it around, because it's the periphery that goes when we're doing so much screen work. So this is a very good one. If you haven't got a pencil, you're at work or whatever you can, then you can just lift up your fingers in alignment with your eyes on either side of your face and wiggle them around. You can extend the arms and the hands so at arm's length. Can you still be aware of them? You can then allow the arms to go upwards. Can you still be aware of it? Can you be aware of it going down? Can you be aware of it going aware from behind as well as the front? So it's really stimulating the periphery. So important, because so many people are losing the periphery, either with the screen or with the glasses. So these are very, very important ones. The other one is, of course, patching.
Sorry, Lizzie, just before you move on to that, what I was thinking is you were saying people are losing their peripheral vision. Do you think possibly people are losing their peripheral ability to think?
Yes, they are. Because you see, the thing is, what happens when you're like here, you're just seeing in front, then often, psychologically, you're not seeing all points of view. You're becoming myopic in your viewpoint. It's not the same for everybody, but it can happen because you're not seeing the full picture. When you see naturally, you're taking it from the visual cortex all the way round as you center your attention in front, and the nose is in alignment to what you're seeing. Right? But with short sight, long sight, or whatever, you're just concentrating on this one little area, forgetting everything here. So then you may not see every point of view. It really has an impact.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, but it can.
Yeah.
You know, it certainly can. And again, the other one with the pencil is just looking up. Can you just bring your eyes and your head up gently? Notice how that feels. Most people don't look up. They look straight ahead or down. And so I get people to look at roofs, to look at architecture. There is so much of interest when you look up. People don't do that. They look straight in front or down. So it's looking around, being interested. And the other thing, which is a very simple little technique, is enjoying seeing a colour a day. So you're not just choosing the primary colours of red, green, yellow and blue, but then going on to pinks and oranges and shades of black and brown and grey and pink, all these colours. When you're seeing a colour, there's nothing for the mind to strain on. There's no writing, there's no interpretation, you don't have to strain on it. And it's usually a bigger area, but it helps you to engage with your world, to connect, rather than being isolated.
Yeah.
Right? And you can do that anywhere. And children and adults alike love it. And from there, from being aware of colours, is then choose an object of interest. What we've been just doing recently is seeing how many minis we see in one journey. Right, so it's an object of interest. I've been looking at lampposts in my local area, from the Edwardian and Victorian ones to the 60s ones to the new ones here. Notice, if the mind is interested, the eyes will see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because mind and eyes work together. As soon as the mind is somewhere else, eyes don't know where to focus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when somebody has to think about something or think about an email, then it's good for them just to close their eyes for a moment and think about it that way, rather than opening eyes and just having the eyes just going into space. Right? So that's going to be all done. It can just be done with the pencil, with your fingers as well. But it's just more interesting if you have contrasting bright coloured pencils. Yeah. Okay. And the other one, of course, is patching the eyes. So here I have what is called, I have patching glasses here. Hold on. We'll just take them here. Here there are glasses where I can actually take the lens out and use it either for the left eye or for the right eye. But I have what are called overbound trainer glasses, which were developed by one of our vision trainees. And again, you can buy these things. So I'm going to give you the details of it in a moment. But here, what we're doing is we patch one eye. When you patch one eye and help one eye to see, you've still got the support of the patched eye with the peripheral vision, right? And when you patch each eye for a period of time, it could be just a few minutes, it could be a bit longer, but it doesn't have to be. It then helps both eyes to see better together. So if one eye is under more strain, you know, is more blurry, is more under strain, needs more relaxation, right? Then just patch the eye that is more relaxed and really help this little eye to rest, to relax. Starting off with seeing colours, seeing trees, something that's really easy on the mind and eyes. And these are called overbounders, overbound trainers, and of course we have the other side as well. And I'll give you the details of that. Plus, we have what is called a central patch, which actually is relaxing the central vision, which is over slave driven most of the time. And so you're only aware of the periphery. So you walk around with these, obviously in a familiar surrounding, so you don't fall over, with again well lit rooms, and can you be aware of the periphery, seemingly moving in the opposite direction. So this is stimulating the rods of the retina, which tend to get a bad press when we're wearing glasses and looking at screens. And it's also very relaxing for the eyes. And often you will see better without, you know, once you've got them off. And for this I'll do 10 minutes or whatever. And people really can feel, oh, they're suddenly aware of a field of vision that they've forgotten.
I imagine that would be really good for athletes.
Exactly. It's developed for that. And again, you know, we have different sizes. So that's the large one. Then it has a medium-sized one. So again, it's still taking away the central vision, but you can be aware of the periphery. That's a smaller one. And then I often start with the smallest one because it can be, you know, disconcerting when you're not seeing in the front. And that's much smaller, but still is over the pupils. So you just have to be aware of the periphery. But people really recognize, oh my goodness, there's a whole field of vision that I've forgotten about.
Obviously, don't wear them.
It's not that it's
don't wear
lost,
them crossing the
been
road.
forgotten. Yes, no good for that. So you're doing this inside, on the garden or whatever. It's just a nice practice technique, just in your own environment. But it can really make a difference. It really, really can.
Yeah.
So I'll just put that away rather than have all of this out.
Great.
But this lady did it for sports, for football, for youngsters, because she was noticing so their peripheral vision wasn't that wonderful. Also for tennis, yes, footballers, all this kind of thing.
Yeah, tennis very much so.
And one other, I know we've got to go soon, is something very simple. I don't know whether I can explain this. I've just got a little card, probably about, it could be 10 by about 10 by about 8 centimeters, right? Just a plain white card. And I've made 2 little coloured circles the size of a 10-pence piece, 2 smaller circles with a 5-pence piece, and put them on top of each other with blue tack, right? Blue tack. And then very gently, you have the circles about, and you have a small space in the middle between the circles, roughly the size of the smaller circle. You look through the middle part as if it was a window, right? And what can happen is that you see 3 circles. This is a wonderful way of getting into the visual cortex to help relax the mind. And then can you be in that way of being all day long? Right, so there are lots and lots of techniques. Of course, so there's swings and the sways, but obviously we haven't got time to do them all today, and they're a little bit more of a challenge to try and do them on without your seeing them. But it's about using your eyes in as relaxed and as joyous way as possible.